Good morning. We're going to go through the book of James, and we're starting off with the first chapter in James, James 1. What thoughts did you have on reading?
A couple of things struck me. First, it starts off talking about testing your faith and how God doesn't tempt you with evil, that He will allow things to happen, and it's to build up those muscles. It's like if you did the old-fashioned dummy weights with the balloons on the end, and you lifted the thing that just said 1,000 pounds, and it's really a balloon. It doesn't build any muscle. You have to really work through things in order. You have to really work your muscles in order to build your muscles up. The same with your faith and your character. You have to face things that are difficult and work through them in order to build up that character muscle. But the other part that really struck me was the verse over here, to let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger, for the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God. And how often I want to react instead of stopping to give myself that think time and to think about what the problem really is if person number one is saying something in reaction and you react to what they do, you're never getting to the crux of the problem. Whatever the situation is, you have to look at what the root is of it and deal with that. And you can't do that on the fly. That takes the reflection time.
Mm-hmm.
But I also liked the constant, throughout the whole chapter, there was this theme of unity of belief and thought and action. And it even references how if you're living in duplicity, you can't expect the wisdom of God because you're just flaky. You have to be trying to bring everything in your life into alignment with each other. There was just a lot in the first chapter.
Yeah, like over in 26. If anyone thinks he's religious and doesn't bridle his tongue, but deceives his heart, this person's religion is worthless. A lot of times I struggle with that taming of the tongue or fingers on the keyboard or whatever the case may be, which goes right back to what you were talking about. And then over in 22, be doers of the word, not hearers only. Because you can memorize the Bible and know it forwards and backwards, but if you don't actually put into practice what it says, how you're supposed to react to your fellow people around you, whether or not they're fellow brothers or not.
Well, it kind of sums it all up here, where it says, religion that is pure and defiled before God is this, to visit orphans and widows in their affliction, and to keep oneself unstained from the world. So there's a lot of discussion about what the orphans and the widows mean, and if it does, is it representational of this or is it representational of that? It really doesn't matter. That the spirit of what's being said is that you take care of the people who can't take care of themselves, and that you keep yourself set apart for God instead of tainted by the world. And if you do that, then you're going to naturally fall into line with what you were just saying.
Mm-hmm. So those are our thoughts for today. Read through James 1 and hit us up with your thoughts. Thanks.